So once again, ladies and gentlemen, give the biggest round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the captivating performance of the intergenerational art performance by Karawista Integrated Older People Care from Padungan. And we hope that this showcase will bring a memorable experience for all of us, ladies and gentlemen. And a little bit about the dance. The Puspa Resti is a dance that's inspired by the traditional Pandedan dance. It's a beautiful and grace performance, of course, as we can see, symbolize a warm welcome. And also, has the moving rhythm to the enchanting melodies of kebiar gong instrument. And this performance brought to life by the talented dancers of the Integrated Older People Care under the guidance of their esteemed instructors, Ima Dejata and Iwayan Adi Martadana. Well, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to continue our program for this morning, now we would like to steal your attention for a while to the screen in front of you, because we would like to present the welcoming remarks in the form of declarations of healthy aging delivered through a video recording by the esteemed Vice Ministers of Health of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Dante Saxono Harbuono.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we go through life, many of us may find ourselves reading the passage of times, feeling the visible signs of aging. Wrinkled skin, gray hair, and slower movement. I must admit I share that fear too, as many us do. But today, we are here to challenge that perspective. We are here to ask ourselves, is aging really something to fear, or could it be something to celebrate? Ladies and gentlemen, when we think of aging, we often focus on the negative, physical change and loss of mobility. However, today, through this conference, we are invited to see aging through a more positive lens. Aging is often viewed as a time of weakness, but it should be celebrated as a time of wisdom. It's not about growing dependent, but about offering a lifetime of experience. And while aging may slow us down, it also allows us to matters that refine our skills. Reframing aging means shifting our perspective. Instead of focus solely on the health challenge faced by our seniors, we should focus on empowering them. The elderly are not simply a group in need of care. They are individuals with a lifetime of wisdom, experience, and skill. We must create environment that allow older adults to remain active, engaged, and connected with their communities. The statistics show us why this shift is important. By 2050, it is estimated 1 of 5 people globally will be over the age of 60. In the Asian Pacific region alone, the population of older adults is growing at a rapid pace. This presents both challenges and opportunities for our societies. We must act now to ensuring that our seniors can age with dignity and vitality. In Indonesia, the Ministry of Health has developed integrated primary care services that focus on all stages of life, not only on mother and children, but also on older adults. Through our puskesmas or primary health care, our community health centers, older adults can receive screening, early detection, and treatment, helping to prevent disease progression. Furthermore, We are proud to collaborate with South Korea to establish a center for beauty and wellness at Ngurah Hospital in Bali, aimed at enhancing the vitality of our elderly population. But our work does not stop here. Reframing aging requires a multi-sectoral approach. It is not just the responsibility of health sector, but of every part of society. Government, community, private sectors, and families must work together to create an environment that empower older adults to thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm confident that this conference will generate fresh ideas and innovative solutions to help us develop policy that are more adaptive and responsive to population aging. Together, let us push for this paradigm shift, seeing aging not as a burden, but as opportunity. Let us no longer be afraid of aging, but embrace it as a chance of growth, contributed, and live fully in our later years. Let us seize the moment and ensure that every older adult in our society can age with dignity, purpose, and health. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next agenda, we would like to invite the General Administration's Assistant of Acting Governor of Bali to represent and also to read the speech from the Acting Governor of Bali. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Idewa Putu Sunarta. Kami persilahkan.
Bapak Ibu, para undangan hadirin yang berbahagia, izinkan saya menyampaikan permakluman kepada Bapak Ibu semua yang hadir pada kesempatan yang bahagia ini, bahwa sedianya penjabat Gubernur Bali yang hadir, namun karena dalam kesempatan yang sama ada beliau sedang melakukan satu kegiatan yang tidak bisa ditinggalkan, maka beliau menugaskan kepada kami untuk hadir sekaligus menyampaikan sambutannya. Mudah-mudahan bisa dimaklumi. Sambutan penjabat Gubernur Bali pada acara Asia Pacific Regional Conference on Population Aging, Rabu 11 September 2024. Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, namo buddhaya, salam sejahtera dan rahayu untuk kita semua. Yang terhormat Pak Menteri Perencanaan Pembangunan Nasional, Kepala Bappenas Republik Indonesia yang diwakili oleh Bapak Deputi Bidang Kependudukan dan Ketenagakerjaan, yang saya hormati Bapak Wakil Menteri Kesehatan tadi yang disampaikan lewat video, kemudian senior kami Ibu Dr. Armida Alisabana, Eksekutif Sekretaris KEP, kemudian Wakil Sekretaris Jenderal PBB dan Sekretaris UNFPA, Regional Direktur UNFPA Asia Pasifik, serta undangan dan hadirin yang berbahagia. Marilah kita mengaturkan sembah bakti dan angayu bahagia kehadapan Yang Widiwasa Tuhan Yang Maha Esa. Atas perkenannya kita bersama-sama hadir pada hari ini dalam keadaan sehat, untuk menghadiri Asia Pacific Regional Conference on Population Aging. Saya ucapkan selamat datang di Bali kepada seluruh undangan dan menyambut dengan gembira dipilihnya Bali sebagai lokasi perhelatan ini, serta sebagai salah satu lokasi pilot project layanan lansia terintegrasi. Berbicara kaum lanjut usia, kita mengenal berbagai kata bijak. Di kalangan keprajuritan, di kalangan militer ada pepatah, all soldiers never die, they only fade away. Yang artinya prajurit tua sesungguhnya tidak akan padam atau mati. Semangat berjuang, semangat bertempur, semangat berbakti untuk bangsa dan negara. Hanya pelan-pelan, away itu pelan-pelan mundur dan menyerahkan kepada generasi yang lebih muda. Hadirin yang saya hormati, penuaan penduduk atau population aging yang dihadapi secara global merupakan anugerah yang patut disyukuri karena merupakan salah satu hasil pembangunan seperti peningkatan kesehatan, gizi, perbaikan akses sanitasi, pendidikan, dan teknologi. Umumnya penduduk lanjut usia saat ini lebih berpendidikan, lebih sehat, dan lebih memiliki pengetahuan serta informasi yang menjadi bekal untuk meningkatkan kualitas hidup lebih baik dibandingkan dengan lanjut usia di masa lalu. Namun demikian, masih banyak lanjut usia yang rentan karena kurangnya persiapan, baik dari sisi finansial maupun non-finansial. Lanjut usia mengalami penurunan kapasitas intrinsik seperti kapasitas fisik, mental, dan kognitif sehingga menghambat kemampuan fungsionalnya. Hambatan tersebut diantaranya yaitu hambatan mobilitas, hambatan melaksanakan kegiatan sehari-hari, hambatan merawat diri sendiri, dan hambatan berkomunikasi dengan orang lain. Pada tahun 2045, Indonesia akan memasuki usia 100 tahun atau 1 abad kemerdekaan Indonesia dan menjadi momentum emas bagi Indonesia untuk mewujudkan visi Indonesia 2045. Untuk mewujudkan Indonesia emas pada tahun 2045, Indonesia perlu menyiapkan generasi penerus yang berkualitas dan melakukan pemerataan pembangunan antar wilayah. Mengingat karakteristik kepulauan yang dimiliki Indonesia mengalami penuaan penduduk yang semakin cepat. Berdasarkan data Suksesnas 2023, sebanyak 11,75% atau 32,5 juta penduduk Indonesia sudah berusia 60 tahun ke atas. Jumlah ini akan berkembang menjadi 20% penduduk atau melebihi 60 juta jiwa pada tahun 2045 nanti. Provinsi Bali berdasarkan data Suksesnas 2023 memiliki proporsi penduduk lansia di atas rata-rata nasional, yaitu sebesar 13,97%, serta merupakan daerah dengan laju penuaan penduduk yang paling cepat. Proporsi lansia yang berusia 60 tahun ke atas berdasarkan proyeksi di tahun 2045 akan mencapai 14,61%. Sedangkan Provinsi Bali pada tahun 2045 diproyeksikan jumlah penduduk yang berusia lanjut 60 tahun ke atas mencapai 17,47%. Rasio ketergantungan atau dependency ratio Indonesia pada tahun 2045 diproyeksikan sebesar 52,01%. Artinya setiap 100 penduduk usia produktif akan menanggung 52 orang usia penduduk usia 0 sampai 14 dan 65 tahun ke atas pada tahun 2045. Sedangkan rasio ketergantungan Provinsi Bali pada tahun 2045 diproyeksikan sebesar 55,97%. Meningkat dari tahun 2020 sebesar 42,61%. Artinya setiap 100 penduduk usia produktif di Provinsi Bali akan menanggung 55 sampai 56 penduduk usia 0 sampai 14 dan 60 tahun ke atas pada tahun 2045. Untuk mengantisipasi lonjakan lansia tersebut, pemerintah perlu menyiapkan strategi khusus yang komprehensif, mengatur seluruh aspek kehidupan lansia, mulai dari kesehatan hingga perekonomian. Penduduk pada kelompok lanjut usia lebih rentan terhadap dampak bencana dan perubahan iklim. Perubahan iklim menyebabkan dampak kesehatan yang lebih buruk, peningkatan angka kematian dan kesenjangan kesehatan yang signifikan bagi kelompok lanjut usia, terutama lanjut usia dengan kondisi ekonomi dan sosial yang sudah rentan sebelumnya. Oleh karena itu, program-program kelanjut usiaan dan adaptasi perubahan iklim diperlukan menjadi semakin adaptif dan responsif pada kebutuhan masyarakat. Hadirin undangan yang saya hormati, Bali sebagai pintu masuk dunia tentunya menjadi cerminan Indonesia di mata dunia. Selain itu, penuaan penduduk population aging menjadi isu krusial dunia termasuk kawasan Asia Pasifik. Pembangunan Bali berkembang semakin kompleks dengan tantangan yang semakin berat. Untuk diketahui bersama, capaian pembangunan daerah Bali, terutama dilihat data capaian indikator makro pembangunan dalam beberapa tahun terakhir mengalami peningkatan. Pertumbuhan ekonomi Bali pada tahun 2023 tercatat tumbuh 5,71% atau mengalami peningkatan jika dibandingkan dengan tahun 2022 yang tercatat 4,84%. Bahkan jika diakumulasikan pertumbuhan triwulan 1 2024 sampai dengan triwulan 2 2024, ekonomi Bali pada semester 1 2024 tumbuh sebesar 5,66%, C to C, jauh di atas pertumbuhan nasional yang tumbuh 5,08%. Sementara itu, tingkat pengangguran terbuka pada tahun 2023 tercatat sebesar 2,69%, menurun dibandingkan 2022 yang tercatat sebesar 4,80%. Bahkan data BPS bulan Februari 2024, tingkat pengangguran di Bali jauh menurun 1,87%, jauh di bawah rata-rata nasional mencapai 4,82%. Indeks Gini rasio Provinsi Bali tahun 2023 sebesar 0,362, menurun atau lebih baik dibandingkan tahun 2022 sebesar 0,363 yang masih termasuk kategori ketimpangan sedang. Indeks pembangunan manusia Bali atau IPM pada tahun 2023 mencapai 78,01. IPM Bali meningkat setiap tahun dan berada jauh di atas rata-rata nasional yang sebesar 74,39. Persentase penduduk miskin di Bali data PPS periode Maret 2023 sebesar 4,25%, menurun dibandingkan tahun 2022 sebesar 4,57%. Angka ini merupakan yang terendah di antara provinsi lainnya di tanah air. Secara nasional persentase penduduk miskin sebesar 9,36%. Sejalan dengan itu, persentase kemiskinan ekstrim di Provinsi Bali pada tahun 2023 sebesar 0,19%, menurun signifikan dibanding tahun 2022 sebanyak 0,54%. Kondisi ini merupakan kemiskinan ekstrim terendah di antara seluruh provinsi di tanah air. Meskipun demikian, target Presiden untuk kemiskinan ekstrim nasional pada tahun 2024 adalah 0%. Sementara indikator penting kesejahteraan masyarakat Bali lainnya yaitu prevalensi stunting di Bali. Berdasarkan data Survei Kesehatan Indonesia atau SKI tahun 2023 sebesar 7,2%. Angka ini merupakan angka terendah dibandingkan provinsi lainnya dan jauh lebih rendah dari rata-rata nasional yang sebesar 21,5%. Melihat capaian pembangunan dan tingkat kesejahteraan masyarakat dari data di atas, kita memang jauh lebih baik daripada daerah lain di tanah air. Namun demikian, komitmen dan tekad kami untuk bersama-sama mensejahterakan masyarakat, khususnya di Provinsi Bali, harus terus kita tingkatkan. Hadirin undangan yang saya hormati, pemerintah daerah Provinsi Bali maupun pemerintah kabupaten kota tentu tidak bisa sendiri menyelesaikan berbagai permasalahan pembangunan. Saya mengajak Bapak dan Ibu serta saudara-saudara untuk bersama-sama dengan semangat ngerombo kita mengatasi permasalahan sosial pembangunan di Indonesia, khususnya di Bali. Hadirin yang saya hormati, demikian beberapa hal yang dapat saya sampaikan pada kesempatan yang berbahagia ini. Selamat berdiskusi, semoga dapat menghasilkan gagasan-gagasan dalam menyusun strategi dalam menjawab isu terkait kelanjut usiaan. Sekali lagi saya ucapkan terima kasih atas dipilihnya Bali sebagai lokasi pelaksanaan konferensi. Semoga Yang Widewasa Tuhan Yang Maha Esa senantiasa memberikan bimbingan, tuntunan kepada kita sekalian. Sekian dan terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi 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 Om. Pejabat Gubernur Bali tertanda Sang Made Mahendra Jaya. Selesai. Terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih Bapak Idewa Putu Sunarta. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next program. Now we would like to invite the Deputy Minister, Population and Manpower, Ministry of National Development Planning to deliver the welcoming remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to give a big round of applause for Mr. Maliki. Kami persilahkan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, namo buddhaya, salam kebajikan, rahayu, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Greetings to the Honorable Vice Minister of Health, Professor Dr. Dante Saxono Harbuono. You just see him in the video. Then acting governor of Bali, that is represented by Assistant Administrasi Umum Bapak Idewa Putu Sunarta, dignitaries from Governor of Maldives, the Minister of Social and Family Development, the State Minister of Social and Family Development, and the State Minister of Health. Dignitaries from the government of Iran, Secretary of National Populations Task Force of Iran, and Deputy President. Dignitaries from the United Nations, Professor Armida Ali Shahbana, the UN Under Secretary General and ESCAP Executive Secretary, and also Mr. Francis Pio Smith, Regional Director of UNFPA, and the Honorable CEO of HelpAge International, Mr. Cherian Matthew. We also co-hosting this regional conference with the Ministry of National Development Planning, or Bappenas, and also UNFPA. Bappenas development partners, which support this regional conference, the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, DFAT, which is conveyed by Project Scala and as well as Inclusi, German Technical Cooperations, GIZ, and the ASEAN Development Bank, or ADB, and officials from ministries and institutions in Indonesia and the Asia Pacific international organizations, private sectors, civil society organizations, aging activities, and all other people who are our main interest for the following days. First of all, I would like to convey sincere apology from our ministers that he could not come in person due to urgent call for cabinet meeting in the new capital city this week. And also, please allow me to deliver his welcoming remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the beautiful island of Bali, Indonesia, attending the 2024 Asia Pacific Regional Conference on Population Aging, Reframing Aging. Today, we are celebrating our achievement for our hard works over many decades, increasing access to education, as well as improving equality in all aspects. More importantly, we are living longer. On the other words, our region is steadily aging, and some are accelerated aged. This can be opportunities or challenges. After experiencing a demographic dividend for the past 2 decades, we are now witnessing a shift in the population landscape. With longer life expectancy and declining fertility rates, the number of older persons, those aged 60 and above, is increasing significantly. There are several consequences that might unfold on the time of demographic change, which is to say not from quarter to quarter or year to year, but rather decade to decade. Dear friends and colleagues, Indonesia is one of the countries that also has been quite successful in reducing mortality and extending our life expectancy. This brings the results of a rapid population structure change. Currently, we have over 32.5 million older people, or 11.75% of the populations of older individuals. And this figure is projected to reach over 20% by 2045. In Bali, older individuals already make up nearly 14% of the populations, and will be over 25% by 2045. This demographic shift presents both challenges and also opportunities. Older persons require care, health services, social protections from economic perspective, and also insecurities. They also need supportive environments that promote independence. However, when accordingly prepared, other people can actively contribute to the society and economic, revealing silver and also the second demographic dividend that have more sustainable impact on national livelihood. Aging is both a broad societal issue as also a deep personal journey. As policymakers, practitioners, and stakeholders, we bear the responsibility to craft policies that address future emerging challenges while harnessing the potential of older persons. We must ensure our policies are inclusive, compassionate, and adaptive to the diverse needs of older persons, so that older persons can age with dignity and independence. Ladies and gentlemen, Government of Indonesia has recognized the necessity of reframing aging. We should look at aging as a life cycle process, an intersectoral, multi-sector stakeholders approach to reframe perspective of older persons from the object into the subject of development. We have to prepare much earlier, starting from the first 1,000 days of life. In 2021, President Joko Widodo signed a presidential decree number 88, 2021, on the National Strategy for Aging, which aims to foster independent, prosperous, and dignified lives for all older individuals. This strategy adopts life cycle approach, right-based, and implemented by multi-stakeholders to provide a comprehensive framework to achieve age-friendly environments. Indonesia also ratified Law Number 4 just recently in 2024 on the welfare of mothers and children in the first 1,000 days of life. With this law, we can have a stronger base to implement life cycle based on aging policy. We have also recently completed the draft of formulation of our long-term development plan 2025-2045, which will be finalized this month, hopefully. This document highlights the issue of population aging and necessary policy changes to maintain and improve the protection, right fulfillment, economic security, and also prosperity of Indonesian older people. Distinguished guests, in 100 years of our independence, which is 2045, Indonesia aspires to become an advanced country. Our golden vision underscores the importance of inclusive progress, ensuring that no one is left behind, including the older people. Indonesia's commitment to this vision is already underway. The key initiatives such as the social protections and services, family capacity building, healthcare programs focusing on older people are significant effort. More programs are underway to ensure the participation of older people in economic activities and to implement the life cycle approach, ensuring all generations prepare for their prosperous old age. Bappenas introduced the Integrated Older People Care Pilot Programs, which aims to strengthen communities based on intergenerational interactions in providing care for older people. This initiative has been launched in several provinces, including Bali, where some of you will visit soon. This early step reflects Indonesia's commitment to reframe aging as an opportunity. Distinguished delegates and participants, as we begin this conference, I invite you to embrace a spirit of collaborations. Each of us brings valuable experiences and best practices from our own countries. Through sharing knowledge and insights, we can develop innovative solutions to better serve all the populations across Asia Pacific. I invite policymakers to work harder for accommodating aging-friendly policy. We will be the first to enjoy the results when we are retired in the nearest future, especially me. Yeah. We should strive to make sure that no one faces the burden of aging with propensity, a concept we call jangan tua sebelum kaya, or don't grow old before becoming wealthy. This is not just a slogan. It represents intersectoral commitment to ensuring that every individual has the opportunity to secure their old age. Over the next 2 days, let us focus on building strong partnerships across borders, sectors, and disciplines for achieving dignified aging. Critically, we must ensure the participation of all the people in shaping the policies and programs that affect them. Let's work together to make sure that the policies which we create together enable a future where aging is not a time for vulnerability, but a time for continued growth and opportunity. We must ensure that all individuals, regardless of age, have the opportunity to live fulfilling and independent lives. In conclusion, I commend each of you for your dedication and participation in this important dialogue. All of us together have the potential to realize Asia-Pacific regions as a heaven for all generations to live for, including where older persons can live with dignity. It is time that aging is reframed, where it is not seen as a challenge, but an opportunity for growth, novelty, and productive living. Thank you for your dedication to this important cause. I wish all of you fruitful and also engaging conference. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, Om Santi 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 Om. Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. On behalf of Minister of National Development Planning, Suharto Monoarfa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maliki. Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next program. Now we would like to invite to please come up on the stage and to deliver another welcoming remarks, the Under Secretary General of the United Nations and Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic and Social Commissions for Asia and Pacific. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Armida Salsia Alishabana.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Shalom, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Very good morning to all of you. Yang saya hormati Bapak Menteri Perencanaan Pembangunan Nasional, Kepala Bappenas, yang diwakili oleh Pak Deputi, Pak Maliki. Yang saya hormati pejabat Gubernur Bali, yang dalam hal ini diwakili oleh Bapak Asisten Daerah, Bapak Dewa Sunarta, Mr. Cherion Matthews from HelpAge International, and my colleague from the UNFPA Regional Asia Pacific, Director, Mr. Pio Smith, Excellencies, distinguished participants, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed my pleasure to join all of you today again to be here in Indonesia, my home country. Always a pleasure to come back home, and also especially to be here in the beautiful island of Bali. Today we are going, I think not only today, the next few days, all of you will convene, will deliberate, will discuss on the very important issues on aging. As you know, our region, Asia Pacific, more than any other, is undergoing a profound demographic transformation. I think the previous speaker, some of the previous speakers already alluded earlier, but let me also present some of the figures, just to give you also the idea, the profound challenges that the region face in terms of this particular issue. This year, 2024, 721 million people aged 60 years or above reside in our region, roughly 1 in 7 persons. But by 2050, it is projected that 1 in 4 people in this region will belong to this age cohort, amounting to nearly 1.3 billion older persons. That's a huge number, 1.3 billion older persons. But by 2050, meaning 25 years from now. So meaning that we still have time to really prepare for a really productive and healthy aging societies in our region. The rapid pace of population aging in our region is unprecedented and affecting almost every country. Several countries are taking just 20 to 25 years to transition from an aging to an age society, meaning that also the process is much, much faster than, let's say, other countries in the past. While population aging can be considered as a human success story, resulting from advancement, achievements in public health and economic and social development, it does come with new challenges related to maintaining economic growth and ensuring healthy lives and income security for older persons. And these challenges, not only for government, again, just to underline, this is not only the problem of governments or the issues of governments, but this is for all of us, to really come up with a good solution and manage it well. So therefore, to adapt and manage effectively, we must understand the challenges as well as opportunities that population aging presents. Again, I listened carefully to the previous speakers. Some of these particular challenges already alluded earlier, but let me also take this good opportunity to sort of summarize again, the many challenges, and also behind the challenges always come opportunities into four, sort of the big strand of the challenges. The first one is the proportion of older person grows, or as the proportion of older person grows, the working age population is shrinking and the median age is also rising, posing a challenge for policymakers to balance economic productivity with the needs of an aging society or population. That's number one. Number two, a large number of older persons has already reached old age without having worked in the formal sector or contributed to a pension scheme. And hence, so therefore, less than half of the older persons in the region have access or covered by any pension schemes. So it also then what pose issues or problems in terms of income security, welfare for the older person. And third is aging societies will also place a higher demand on healthcare services, but a little bit different, in which chronic diseases and the need for long-term care will increase, as will the demand for mental health services also will increase. Disability rates are also expected to rise as the life expectancy increases, particularly among older women who continue to outlive men. And fourth, the fourth challenge is that traditional family structures and living arrangements are evolving and may no longer provide the support that older family members need. This will require a rethink of care for older persons. This is also including in this care economy issues and challenges. To address these challenges, we must develop strategies that are multidimensional, holistic, inclusive, and embrace a life cycle approach. We must recognize that the foundations for healthy and active aging are laid much earlier in life. And therefore, I come to now the priorities in terms of the strategy. Of course, because of the time constraint, only a few of the highlights of the selective strategies that I would like to prioritize or to highlight in this opportunity. The first one is, again, to reiterate the important point that we need to promote, support active and healthy aging by encouraging, facilitating older persons' participation in the workforce, volunteerism, lifelong learning, all these activities. And this is coming from me personally, that I would like a more initiative, out-of-the-box initiative. Many here, NGOs, civil societies, can we encourage, support more healthy lifestyle early on? Not wait until you come to a certain age, then you start this healthy lifestyle, but early on, because I think this will serve us well in our a later age. The second strategy is related to pension system, in which, again, I understand many countries are reforming their pension system, but the issue is how to ensure the pension system to ensure not only sustainability, but the coverage, in particular for those left behind, not only in formal sector, but to be able to cover people in their old age. Third is digital technology can be a game changer in extending the productive lifespan of older person. So therefore, it is crucial to strengthen the digital skills of older person as well. Yeah, and the fourth is healthcare system must meet the needs of an aging population. Investment in universal healthcare as well as the primary care system. I think the Vice Minister already highlighted this particular point, which is very important, in which the kind of services also need to be provided for the older population. Long-term care services should be expanded, improved, and integrated. Yes, in many countries, this is left to families without support from, let's say, including from the government. Yeah? So we need to expand and improve long-term care services with a focus on home and community-based and institutional care that respects the dignity of older persons. And the fifth, I'm coming towards the last of the list. The fifth is building supportive social environment and creating age-friendly communities that foster social inclusion can significantly enhance the quality of life of older person. In this context, in the broader framework of promoting intergenerational relations and solidarity is one of the most important elements for ensuring cohesive, harmonious, and inclusive societies for the future or in the future. Yeah, and last but not least is another critical element for to the strategy, and this particular one I haven't heard from the previous speaker, but this is not least important, actually very important, which is to collect, disseminate, and as well as analyze age as well as gender disaggregated data. Yeah, if you want to have good policies, you cannot have one without this data, right, supporting you, including at the micro level, and use alternative measures of aging, such as prospective aging and national transfer accounts. I saw in the program that this is one of the topic, right, which is very interesting, which is very good, spot on. This can help policymakers design more effective and targeted interventions that address the diverse needs of aging population. And above all, again, just to reiterate the points, that for the strategies to work effectively, we need partnership among multiple stakeholders. I just want to say it, re-say it again and again, the importance of a partnership working together among stakeholders, government, everybody, private sector, CSO, as well as older person themselves. So distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, rapid population aging in Asia Pacific, again, presents both challenges, as we understand that, but at the same time also extraordinary opportunities. By embracing innovation, reforming systems, and fostering a culture of inclusivity and respect, we can turn these challenges into opportunities for growth, solidarity, and improvement. Together, let us reimagine aging societies and change the negative narratives to a positive and uplifting one. I hope that the discussion at the conference will provide answers, solutions that allow us to reach healthy and productive aging societies in our region and beyond. So it's not only about Asia Pacific. I thank the Ministry of National Development Planning, Bappenas, my former ministry of Indonesia, and HelpAge International for again inviting me to this conference and also sharing my thoughts. And I would like to end with leaving you with a thought for you to think about. That is, it is not only about adding more years to the lives of older person, but more importantly, it is about adding quality life to the years. I wish you all a very successful conference. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi, Santi, Santi Om. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Armida. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next welcoming remarks, we would like to invite the Regional Director for Asia and the Pacific, the United Nations Population Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you Mr. Pio Smith.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Your Excellency Saharso Manoarfa, Minister for National Development Planning, Bappenas, Republic of Indonesia, represented by our good friend Pa Maliki, Deputy Minister for Planning, His Excellency Professor Dante Saxono Harbawono, Vice Minister of Health for the Republic of Indonesia, Your Excellency Dr. Aisha Srihan, Minister of Social and Family Development of the Maldives, my dear colleague Dr. Armida Salcia Al-Sijabana, Under Secretary General of the United Nations and Executive Secretary of ESCAP, Assistant Governor of Bali, Sangmade Mahindra Jaya, and of course our dear friend Cherian Matthews, CEO of HelpAge International. Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear friends and colleagues, it's a real privilege to join you at this 2024 Asia-Pacific Regional Conference on Population Aging. And I extend my sincere thanks to the Ministry of National Development Planning for Population and Labour of the Republic of Indonesia and to HelpAge International for co-hosting this important event along with UNFPA. Our gathering comes at an important time, when individual rights and choices are under immense strain. A time when governments are facing unprecedented pressures owing to economic downturns, rising migration, and an international architecture that is fractured. And a time when the human fabric of societies across the world is stretched and tested, very often pushing the most vulnerable further into the shadows. So we have much to discuss and we have work to do. The good news, of course, is that we are not starting from scratch. The Asia-Pacific region has witnessed remarkable progress in recent decades, with significant advancements in education, employment, and health, including sexual and reproductive health. Yet even as we celebrate these successes, we must acknowledge the persistent inequalities, particularly gender disparities, that are further intensified by climate change, conflict, and rapid digital transformation. At the same time, our region faces significant demographic shifts. While some countries grapple with low fertility rates, others see an increase in the number of people living longer and hopefully healthier lives. The statistics paint a very clear picture. By 2050, the number of individuals aged 60 and above will double, with those over 65 surpassing the population of children under 5 for the first time in history. This demographic shift presents challenges, but as we've heard, it also presents opportunities. Opportunities for innovations in healthcare, lifelong learning, and inclusive policies that not only support, but celebrate the potential of our aging population. To navigate the demographic shift effectively, it's evident that we must develop and implement strategies that ensure older adults live with dignity, have access to essential services, and remain active participants in all areas of society, including the workforce. At UNFPA, our strategy for addressing population aging is comprehensive and strategic. We adopt a rights-based life cycle approach, recognizing that investment at every stage of life from infancy to old age, is crucial for fostering resilience and well-being. This includes championing policies that empower girls and women, including the elderly, and protecting them from gender-based violence. For instance, elder abuse, which can manifest as physical, emotional, or financial exploitation, is a significant issue that requires targeted interventions and support systems. Ensuring access to essential sexual and reproductive health services is also crucial. This encompasses addressing issues such as sexual function, fertility, support for older adults living with sexually transmitted infections, and menopause-related health services. To further strengthen this work, we advocate for increased research and development in geriatric healthcare and promote age-inclusive environments. We're also harnessing the power of data through important tools like national transfer accounts. These NTAs help analyze intergenerational resource flows, and they guide targeted interventions. NTAs provide crucial insights into the economic impacts of population aging, allowing us to craft tailored policies that benefit both younger and older generations. This data-driven approach is vital if we want to unlock the potential of an aging population and ensure inclusivity so that no one is left behind. Moreover, we see the silver economy as a crucial asset to society. The potential silver demographic dividend is significant and has the capacity to boost the gross domestic product of many countries in the region, ranging from 0.4% in Malaysia to 2.8% in Japan, according to recent studies. Dear friends, let us be clear today. Older adults are not a burden. They are a wellspring of wisdom, experience, and innovation. By encouraging active and healthy aging, strengthening intergenerational solidarity, and implementing age-inclusive policies and environments, including robust support for the care economy, with governments taking their leading role in ensuring that care responsibilities are met. Only then we can fully leverage the potential of our aging populations, contributing to more resilient and prosperous societies for everyone. So as we delve into the complexities of addressing these challenges and opportunities over the coming days, challenges and opportunities presented by our aging global population, rest assured that UNFPA stands at the forefront, advocating for the adoption of these comprehensive strategies while providing technical assistance to governments. We recognize that this task cannot be undertaken alone. It requires collaboration with all stakeholders at this conference and beyond, who are playing a pivotal role in joining the advocacy, shaping legislative frameworks, forging partnerships, and allocating sufficient resources. There is a proverb in Indonesia, Anjing Menggonggong Kafila Berlalu, which literally means the dog barks, but the caravan moves on. For us, that message could be translated as life goes on, even if some people try to stop progress. Let us all keep moving forward. Let's keep working towards reframing aging to a paradigm of health and opportunity, inclusivity and fairness for everyone, regardless of age. It is only by working together, dear friends, that we can amplify our impact, exchange knowledge, and work towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, fulfilling that promise of the International Conference on Population and Development that we agreed to 30 years ago in Cairo. including by making sexual and reproductive health and rights a lived reality for everyone. Thank you all very much, and I wish you all a very productive and enjoyable conference.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pio Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, for the next one, I would like to invite to please come up on the stage the Chief Executive Officer of HelpAge International to deliver the welcoming remarks. I present to you Mr. Sherian Matthews.
Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of HelpAge International and our network members, it is an honor for me to welcome each one of you to this regional conference. HelpAge Global Network is an alliance of more than 200 organizations in over 90 countries. We work together to promote the well-being, dignity, and voice of older people so that they can lead fulfilling, healthy, and secure lives. I am so pleased to see a number of network members from Asia-Pacific region participating in this conference. One of the cornerstones of our work of our network members is to build the capabilities of older people, amplifying the voice of older people, bringing them into the planning and the implementation of the program. We work under the paradigm, nothing about us without us. So that's the main stake of our network members' contribution and their partnership with government in developing policies and programs. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, it is our honor to co-host this conference with Bappenas and UNFPA. This conference follows up on previous similar biennial events in the region. The last conference was held in Iran, and distinguished dignitaries from Iran is also present here. We celebrate the fact that the Indonesian government is taking older people and population aging seriously. We heard about it from distinguished speakers already on this. Not only at the level of social services, but also including this aspect in national development planning. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, aging is inevitable. 1 in 6 people in the world will be aged 60 years or over by 2030. If we prepare and systematically adapt to this reality, we can age better and with dignity. We challenge the inequalities that face in old age, which can arise through poverty, gender discrimination, and disability. These can accumulate throughout our lives, and for the most disadvantaged, lead to a poorer quality life in older age. Population aging is one of the most significant societal shifts of our time, and yet, all over the world, older people face exclusion and the denial of their basic human rights. Tackling this challenge demands collective effort to develop effective solutions. Older people are disproportionately impacted by conflicts, climate change, and migration, and often struggle with the technological advancements that are changing the world we live in. We believe that older people should face their future with confidence, realize their full potential, and actively participate in their societies. Many of the systems, policies, social norms, and attitudes that shape our societies fail to adapt swiftly enough to protect the rights and meet the needs of older people. Asia is aging rapidly and faces these challenges in unprecedented manner. Since I myself from Asia-Pacific region, I really concerned about the rapid progress in the aging. But countries in Asia Pacific have so much to learn from each other in preparing for an aging world. So it's timely to bring the region together in this important event. I wish that in coming days, we will have opportunities to exchange ideas and actions to adapt the challenges and opportunities that population aging bring. I am delighted to see so many preeminent experts, government representatives coming together with members of civil society organizations. Let us work together and join a movement to build a society where we all can grow old with dignity. Once again, thank you, Bappenas, for hosting us to the event, and thank you all for joining this important event. I wish you all success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sherian. Could you please remain on stage? Because we are going to have photo session. Don't go anywhere. Please remain on the stage for the photo session. And we would like to invite Mr. Maliki and also Dr. Armida, Mr. Pio. Could you please come up on the stage along with Mr. Sunarta as well? Kami persilakan Bapak Sunarta juga untuk dapat naik ke atas panggung. Also, we would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Abud Musaad, Her Excellency Dr. Aishat, Mrs. Aminath Hussein Sharif, Mrs. Khadija, and also Mrs. Shakiba Mohebi Tabar. Could you please come up on the stage because we are going to have a session together. Kami persilakan untuk official kamera dan rekan-rekan media yang lain untuk dapat mendekat dan mengabadikan momen ini. So we will have 3 different photo sessions. So for the first one, distinguished guests, excellencies, whenever you're ready, official camera ready, I will have to count in the count of 1, 2, 3. One more time, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. And the second photo session, I would like to invite all the rest of the VIPs to please come up on the stage. Please join for the photo session. Once again, we will have another photo session for the rest of the VIPs as well. Please kindly take the second steps and the third steps as well. We will wait for one more person to join. Bagaimana? Sudah? Sudah semuanya? Sudah? Baik. Official camera ready? In the count of 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much, Excellencies, distinguished guests. May I have a big round of applause? And now, I would like to invite all the VIPs to please return to your seat because we are going to have the photo session with the drone along with all the participants in here. So for that, I would like to request everyone, ladies and gentlemen, please rise one more time. Please be upstanding because we are going to have another photo session with the drone. So I would like to invite each and every one of you, Bapak dan Ibu, dipersilakan untuk dapat bangkit berdiri. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please kindly rise because we are going to have the drone session photos. We will have our official photographer right over here. We'll also have the drone to be ready. And whenever the drone is flying above you, just wave your hands then. All right, not yet, not yet. All right, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, distinguished guests. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yay! Love the energy. In the count of 1, 2, 3, say Bali! Thank you very much. One more time. All right, the drone, ready, one more time. 1, 2, 3, wave your hand. Thank you very much, everyone. And I'll give the biggest round of applause for everyone, each and every one of you. Thank you very much for the energy. Thank you so much. You may please be seated. Thank you. Kami persilakan Anda untuk dapat duduk kembali. So once again, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a true honor to have you grace this event with your presence, of course, and your presence is very special for all of us, and your speeches also and contribution have undoubtedly enriched our discussions on this crucial topic, and we extend once again our gratitude to each and every one of you. And now, with all due respect, we cordially invite the Minister's Advisors Representative to have the doorstop station along with the other one, all the VIPs, to explore the exhibitions booth located in the foyer area. So once again, following this, we would like to request you to proceed to the designated room for the press conference, please. And for the rest of you, ladies and gentlemen, we will have the 15 minutes of the coffee break in here, in this ballroom. So please kindly do not go anywhere because we are going to serve the coffee break on the table. So we are about to start the next program in 15 minutes. So don't go anywhere, still in the Asia Pacific Regional Conference on Population Aging 2024. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to continue our session for today. So for that, I would like to invite everyone, for those of you who are still in the foyer area, please kindly enter the ballroom and be seated. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite everyone to once again please kindly enter the ballroom and be seated because we are about to continue our program for today. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to continue our session for today. So for those of you who are still in the foyer area, please kindly enter the ballroom and please kindly be seated. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are still in the foyer area, please kindly join us one more time inside of the ballroom because we are about to continue our program for today, and please kindly be seated. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are still in the Asia Pacific Regional Conference on Population Aging. May I have a big round of applause for all of us, ladies and gentlemen. I can only hear the applause only from this side. May I have a big round of applause for all of us, all the energy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, that we still have plenty of programs to do for today. So after this, we'll have the presentations and also the panel discussion. So please don't go anywhere. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, now we will hear the presentation that will be delivered by the Asia Pacific Regional Representative, HelpAge International. So the next agenda will be the participant introduction and framing the conference. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you Mr. Eduardo Klein.
I realize that I forgot my notes, so I'll have to improvise. Excellencies, distinguished guests, we are now, before introducing the delegations, explain why we defined this conference as with a focus on reframing aging. So let me go through a couple of slides. Do we have the slides on? The first thing to note is that this conference, this large gathering of people interested in aging, in population aging, longevity, demographic change, is the result of a huge collaborative effort. This is not only HelpAge and Bappenas, this is HelpAge and Bappenas and UNFPA support. This is the participation of many organizations. But in the design of this conference, we have also had a big engagement that I'll explain briefly. So this regional conference is one in a series of biennial regional conferences that happened in Pondicherry in India, Bali, Indonesia, that was here 16 years ago, Melbourne, I don't know what happened, but then, okay, here is complete. In Yangon, Chiang Mai, Hanoi, and the last one was in Tehran, Iran, Islamic Republic of Iran. Every conference grew in size, grew in relevance, grew in participation. And the good thing about these conferences is that it allows governments, civil society, international organizations, private sector, people interested in the field, academics, researchers, all to join in thinking about population aging and what to do. And we have evolved through the years. By the early conferences in 2006, for example, 2008, our main goal was to build awareness of aging, say, hey, Asia is aging very fast. Demographic change is happening. Then we started focusing on the impact of population aging, on social and economic implications of population aging. And we ourselves were trying to further explore how to deal with population aging, how to understand this, the monumental changes that we were immersed in and we were not yet fully understanding. The last conference in Tehran was, I think, very helpful in further advancing in that thought. But since then, we have continued evolving in this thinking. For this conference, we had an experts preparatory meeting here in Bali in February this year. And there were 22 experts. I think all of them are here present. Some of joined in person, others online, that were headed by Pak Maliki of Bappenas. And we started discussing what is the issue? How can we make this conference very relevant? No? How can we really support the adaptation to population aging? So under the general frame of adapting to population aging, we started discussing the situation of this change, and we came to the conclusion that reframing aging was at the core of any adaptation process that we were to propose, jointly propose. And why was that? We went, okay, let me go back. Yeah, we're talking that demographic change is one of the biggest mega processes. I think we all know that. But we fail to see sometimes what are the implications of this change in our personal lives. In my lifetime, people in my country live, the expected life, the life expectancy at birth has increased, in 31 years. In China, people who were the life expectancy between 1950 and 2023 has increased by 34 years. In India, 31. In Fiji, 24, I think. In Japan, 21. In every country in the region and globally, this increased life expectancy is something we have to understand. The situation is that our institutions, our mindsets, our behaviors are still tied up to the earlier stages when people lived shorter lives. Now we have to know what to do with the expanded lifetimes, what to do with longevity, how to incorporate longevity into the totality of societies. So in that discussion during the experts meeting, we also came to understand that usually when you talk aging, and probably if I ask many of you, how do you see aging societies? The first thing that comes to mind is lots of older people, big financial burden, the health systems will be, exploding by the increased demand. There will be more people in poverty. But that is really not grasping the whole magnitude of the change that we are facing. So, for example, the main change is not only that older people live longer, but that the young and middle-aged now, maybe most of you, will be old and will reach older ages and older ages very soon. In maybe 10, 20, 30 years, you will be old. So whatever we do is not for the current older people, it's also for the future older people, for those who are now young. So when we talk about adapting to aging society, we have to abandon the frame that we have to deal with older people who are frail, the financial burden, and we have to start thinking of how that cohort that in Asia is 600 million people over the age of 60, as was mentioned earlier, and by 2050 it will be 1.3 billion over the age of 60. How can any society, any economy afford to exist, to be sustainable, if they consider that large number of population as a burden, as or passive actors in society? They are retired, they just receive, or subject of welfare, or whatever. We have to rethink that. We have to rethink the whole of societies. And that's why we, in that experts group meeting, we defined some areas to work so that people who are now living as young or middle-aged, not yet reaching old, they will not outlive their health. Because if they don't live healthy aging, then they might reach a stage that they live longer, but they live very much in outliving their own healthy situation. We don't want that. We don't want a society for us. We don't want that for any of us. And you are talking about yourselves. We don't want to outlive our financial resources, our income. So we don't want to say we have income until we're 70, 75 years old, but then if we live to 90, then, oh my God, we're living in poverty or subject to welfare. We don't want to outlive our relevance to our families, to our communities, to our societies. So we need to redesign a society in such a way that you live in health as much as possible, in functionality, that you have the income that you need, and that you are connected to your families, communities, to your societies in general. Now, that is easy to say, but then the problem is how to. So in this experts meeting, which I think was exceptionally sharp, we defined 6 themes that will be the topic of this conference. And the sessions are structured in these 6 areas. The first one, active productive aging. So one session will analyze what are the barriers for older people or people in later stages of life being active or being productive, not only caring for children, but being productive in society, being productive in economy. What are the barriers that are in terms of retirement ages, for example? No? I was talking to a colleague there, he's sitting somewhere, I won't mention his name, but he was telling me that he reached 62 years old, I think, last month. So he had to retire, mandatory retirement. He's full of energy, full of interest. And in addition, he cannot work for the same organization for the next 6 months or 8 months. So they are pushing him to be inactive. That is not the society we want. We need a society where all those barriers, de jure and de facto, are done away. That mindset of ageist mindset is done away. So that's the first area of work, the active productive aging. The second session will have the national transfers account to demonstrate sources of income for older people. Each of these sessions had session leads, and the session leads for that were Professor Long from Vietnam and Michael Herman from UNFPA. The second set of sessions, and each session has 90 minutes. There are 2 sessions for each team, no? Between today and tomorrow. So the second session is climate change and population aging. We all know that climate change is affecting the whole world, including older people. And we have ourselves tended to highlight that older people are disproportionately affected because issues of mobility, we have plenty of figures to demonstrate that. But now we have the challenge to demonstrate how older people can be active, not only in adaptation to communities, to society, adapting to extreme weather events, but also how can older people can be active in mitigation. And that's an area of exploration that we have, yes? Because 600 million people or 1.3 billion people can make a difference. And then we'll discuss how to do that. The third one is communities and aging societies, and I'll be brief, I'm running out of time, but communities and aging societies refers to how in the redesigned societies, communities are at the core. And communities have been revalued in Japan, in Bangladesh, in Nepal, or in Mongolia. Communities are becoming more and more important as a source of relations, as a source of connections, as a source of health, as a source of rights, as a source of everything that people need. So we will analyze the role of communities, both older people associations and age-friendly cities. This session is led by HelpAge and the WHO. The fourth session is technology and aging. We know that this gap in access and understanding of technology, IT, artificial intelligence between generations. We need to fix that gap. We need to try to make older people or people reaching old age savvy and users of information technology, because the world is going in that direction. And this session, very challenging, very interesting, have been designed by ESCAP and HelpAge India. The one before last, social protection and aging society. Social protection is a key component of any society, more of aging societies. But then we are focusing on specifically on pensions, non-contributory pensions and contributory pensions. And we have a fantastic array of speakers from India, China, from different experiences, from Fiji, from I think the lead organizers are sitting over there. That's Philip O'Keefe and John Pigot. They just arrived. They are a bit jet-lagged, but they are ready to share with us this session. And the final group of sessions is caring societies. We'll have two aspects to it. Yeah? One is home and community care, community-based care. There have been a lot of advances, experiences that need to be known. And the second one is how to develop long-term care strategies. And mind you, in all 6 of these topics, the key driver is how to do it. What have we learned? How to advance in this direction, not just creating awareness. So the program for the conference, you have it in your pack, so I won't repeat it. But then following this presentation and introduction, we'll have the high-level panel of distinguished personalities from different countries that will express their views on population aging. Tomorrow we have the feedback on the session on intergenerational voices that was led by the Chao Foundation. That will be tomorrow afternoon. We have 3 side events. We have a local government forum this evening. We have a summing up session tomorrow afternoon with a small group of commentators. On the Friday, we have experts group meeting on low fertility. That's led by UNFPA. Then we have 3 parallel field visits on Friday, and you have informative stands all over. And please look at the program that you have in your pack. You will have to select the sessions you join. You have 2 options today afternoon, and you have 2 options tomorrow morning. My apologies. Tomorrow afternoon will be plenary. Now, I want to introduce the participants. If I may, I will call in alphabetical order, and you just stand up. We save the round of applause to the end, please, just to say, here I am. And our host country will be the last one to be called, so be patient. So we start with Armenia. I think we have some participants from Armenia. Okay, well, welcome. It's a long way from Armenia. From Australia, where are those 2 gentlemen over there? Over there. Thank you. From Azerbaijan. Hello. From Bangladesh. Anybody from Bangladesh? No, there are more from Bangladesh. Oh, there you are. Yeah. From Bhutan. Some people say the most beautiful country in the world. Welcome. From Cambodia. Oh, there you are over there. Thank you. From Canada, we have 1 sole representative. From People's Republic of China, Ms. Liu, Mr. Wang, thank you. From Cook Islands. Oh, where is Papa Peter? Oh, there we are. Fiji. Oh, where are we? Oh, there we are. From France. Welcome. From India. Welcome. Welcome. I see you are very scattered. Islamic Republic of Iran, our previous host in this conference. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Italy. Hello. Japan. Oh, hello, Reiko. I hadn't seen you. From Kenya, we have somebody who flew all the way from Kenya. How are you? Thank you. From Lao PDR. From Malaysia. They brought the fantastic choir yesterday, 20 beautiful voices from the Golden Voices. If you missed it, you missed something. From the Maldives, Her Excellency the Minister and 2 state ministers, thank you. From Mongolia, thank you. From Myanmar, wow. From Nepal, we have a robust group from Nepal, welcome. From Niue, welcome. from Pakistan, from Papua New Guinea, PNG, there we are, from the Philippines. Nobody from the Philippines? Oh, there you are. From the Republic of Korea. From Singapore. I think there is a robust group from Singapore. From Spain. ¿Quién viene de España? Sri Lanka. Oh, there we are in the back. Hello. From Switzerland. Has new acquisition for Asia and the Pacific. Tajikistan. Where is Tajikistan? From Thailand. Oh, we have from. Welcome. From Tonga. From Turkey. Welcome. From the United Kingdom. Welcome. From Vietnam. Oh, heroic Vietnam. And now we have from, please, all our friends from the international organizations, ADB, UNFPA, ESCAP, ADB Institute, UNHCR, WHO, and the World Bank. Please stand up. International organizations, yes, thank you so much. And finally, we have our distinguished dear hosts of Indonesia. Please stand up. So that's all on my side. I wish you all an excellent and productive conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kling, for the presentation. Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, that after this we are also having the panel discussion. So now we are entering the high-level panel discussion on the theme of reframing aging. And for this session, we will have some of our speakers, of course, our distinguished speakers from the Ministry of Social and Family Development, Maldives, from Secretary of the National Population Headquarters, IR, Iran. We have also the Deputy Head for Training, Research and Development, National Populations and Family Planning Board, Indonesia. We also have the Vice President, China National Committee on Aging. We have the Regional Director for Asia and the Pacific, the United Nations Population Fund, and also the Chief Executive Officer, HelpAge International. And for this session, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to please welcome, and ladies and gentlemen, please kindly join me to welcome the Deputy Minister for Population and Manpower at the Ministry of National Development Planning, or Bappenas. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you as the moderator, Mr. Maliki. Kami persilahkan.
Good afternoon. Still awake? Can you shout, good afternoon? So I can make sure that you are awake. So usually in Indonesia, if we start an event or like a discussion, we usually like saying a pantun. You know pantun? Yeah? Before Indonesia, maybe you can just shout or say, apa? Cakap.
Cakap.
Oh, beautiful. So I will have a pantun in English, so everybody will understand. Mr. Eduardo is from Italy.
Cakap.
He likes to dance tango and waltz.
Cakap.
Is it true? If you really want aging gracefully,
Cakep.
Kok nggak semangat? So you have to attend seriously aging conference. So today we are going to have like high-level panels discussions on reframing aging. So aging is actually for some of us is very personal issues. I know some of us here have to taking care of their mothers, their fathers, or maybe their loved ones. Yeah. Or maybe because of their past experiences also. And also because I see, including Eduardo, aging is also our self-experiences, and also Bu Eva. Yeah? So far, for some people, aging is very beautiful and pleasant experiences. Bu Eva, Bu Tuning, Pak Eduardo itself, and some of you, I think you are very healthy, productive, having beautiful grandchildren. I saw a lot of successful grandchildren from Bu Eva, and even engaging activities in a very strong community. But however, for other people, they even cannot think about retirement. They have to work to taking care of themselves or other family members. If you see here, there's a lot of story actually. Some elderly have to taking care of even their grand or their children because of their disability. So this one is the grandmother have to taking care of their disabled children. Yeah. So aging is somehow maybe lonely and less of painful journey that sometimes ended up with tragedy. And some we ever heard in Indonesia as well, some of the elderly just found dead a few days after they passed away at their homes, just alone. And based on ADB report just launched by Wendy, 2024, only 43% of all the persons is healthy. And 19% they have also a pension. And even in Indonesia, it's only like 9%. Yeah. For those healthy and have pensions, maybe they can live comfortably. But for others, like 7% in Indonesia is bedridden and no one taking care of. So they really have to be aged lonely. And this creates a challenge for almost all the countries. Not only in the regions, but also worldwide, I guess. And these come with questions. What is the essential of aging? And how are we reframing aging? What is the ideal role of the government to make aged people population productive, prosperous, and dignity? How we engage multi-stakeholders to actively campaign about preparing aging? So with all of the questions and also reframed by Pa Eduardo, we are going to speak reframing aging through meaningful connection among government, community, private, as well as individual roles to achieve age population gracefully. And for speaking of that, we have quite outstanding speakers with various backgrounds. So I will call of them, and then please have a seat, one by one. First is Dr. Aisa Silam, Minister of Social and Family Development of Maldives. Have a seat. And the second one is Ms. Li Xiaoli, the Vice President of China National Committee on Aging, People's Republic of China. The third one is Dr. Ukik Kusuma Kurniawan, Deputy Head of Training, Research and Development, National Population and Family Planning Board. Actually, congratulations, Pak Ukik, for the recent promotion. next one is another man. Her Excellency, Ms. Shakiba Mohibi Tabar, from as a Secretary of the National Population Headquarters, Islamic Republic of Iran. Thank you. Maybe the translator can come up. Is it aging friendly stairs? And the next one is Mr. Pio Smith, Regional Director for Asia and the Pacific, UNFPA Thailand. And last but not least, Mr. Cherian Matthews. Where are you? There. Chief of Executive Officer, HelpAge International, United Kingdom. So because of the time constraint, I think later on we will distribute the brief descriptions about all of the speakers, which is undoubtedly very highly knowledgeable in the aging issues. So, to start with, let's hear from the first speaker. I would like to ask each of these speakers specific questions, and we have allotted time for about the whole first session is around, maybe because of the time also, like 25 minutes. Yeah? And we would like to ask, for the speakers, like 3 to 4 minutes to speak with the questions that are already raised. So the first one is to Dr. Aisa Silam, the Ministry of Social and Family Development of Maldives. Ibu Minister, you are from Maldives. Yeah. So you are beautiful island countries. Population in your countries is actually relatively younger than Indonesia, because yours is less than 10% of older persons. Indonesia is higher. However, it seems that you already prepare very thorough to anticipate aging. Yeah. So my question is that, with many urgent political demands, how do you secure the support of policymakers to address long-term challenges, such as adapting to an aging population while still maintaining stable and sustainable growth? Can you do it?
Thank you. Before I begin, I would like to take this opportunity to gratefully acknowledge the Indonesian government, HelpAge International, and UNFPA for organizing this wonderful conference and inviting us to be a part of it, and through the process, learning from other countries that has made huge achievements in this area. Over the past 3 decades, the global demographic landscape has shifted from rapid population growth to rapid population aging, driven by decline in birth rates and increased life expectancy. This trend has resulted in a larger proportion of older persons worldwide, requiring societies to adapt their social, economic, and healthcare systems. The Maldives mirrors this global trend. According to census data, the median age of our population increased from 16 years in 1990 to 30 years in 2022. Our total fertility rate dropped from 6.4 in 1990 to 1.7 in 2022. and life expectancy at birth has risen from 50 to 80 over the same period. Individuals aged 65 and older now make up 4% of our total population. This demographic shift presents, as outlined by others, both challenges and opportunities for our nation. In a political environment where short-term demands often dominate the policy agenda, it can indeed be challenging to prioritize long-term issues like population aging. However, I believe the key to secure policymakers' support is to present aging not merely as a future concern and burden, but as an opportunity that aligns with broader goals of stability, growth, and inclusivity. Addressing the needs of an aging population should not be seen as a trade-off with economic development, but a way to strengthen it. In line with our commitment to the rights of older persons, the Maldivian government has drafted a comprehensive national aging policy. This policy adopts a whole of government and community approach, focusing on development, prevention, protection, lifelong learning, healthcare access, and enabling environment and income security. These efforts aim to foster a dynamic and resilient community, as investing in older persons can stimulate productivity and innovation, especially in sectors where experience and mentorship are critical. Moreover, integrating aging into policy can strengthen social cohesion, a foundation for sustainable growth. By developing age-friendly infrastructure, fostering intergenerational solidarity, and developing a well-coordinated social protection system, we can prevent inequality and marginalization, both of which can weaken long-term growth if left unaddressed. As such, our government is committed to establishing a harmonized social protection system that meets the needs of vulnerable populations across their life cycles, creating an inclusive society where all individuals, regardless of age, have access to the resources they need to thrive. Finally, it is crucial to position population aging within the broader narrative of sustainable development. Policymakers need to see how aging intersects with other pressing issues like climate change, healthcare, and economic resilience. This holistic approach highlights the urgency for action now, ensuring the well-being of all age groups and fostering long-term growth and stability. Under the leadership of President Dr. Mohamed Muiz, we have worked diligently to engage policymakers by providing data-driven evidence of the benefits of early action and fostering cross-sector partnerships. By framing aging as a cross-cutting issue in our development agenda, we can balance short-term political priorities with long-term sustainable growth, embracing aging as an opportunity for societal growth and development. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aisa. I think that's very on time. You have several key words here, and I think it will be also mentioned later on, is the rights of the older persons. There is one keyword, how we actually can engage in the aging gracefully. And then the next one is Mi Li Shaoli from the People's Republic of China. So we have actually already heard perspective of small country. only like 400,000, I believe, Bu Aisyah, from the Maldives, and even an island country. So your country is quite big, much bigger than Maldives. So, Ms. Shaoli, I read from one of the newspaper that over the next decade, about 300 million people who are currently aged 50 to 60 are set to leave the Chinese workforce. This is the country's largest age group, nearly equivalent to the size of the US populations. How does China perceive population aging, and what role does it envision for all the people in nation's future development? And how China also can maintain balance, intergenerational equity between young generations and the future or current elderly?
Thanks for the question. 谢谢主任的提问。中国政府特别重视人口老龄化的问题。我们对这个人口老龄化呢有3点基本的认识。
I thank Mr. Maliki for the question. The Chinese government attaches great importance to the issue of population aging, and we have 3 basic understandings on population aging.
首先呢，人口老龄化是经济社会发展的必然的趋势，也是中国未来相当长一段时期必须面对的基本的国情。截止到2023年底，中国有60周岁以上的老年人口呢是接近了3亿，占比是21%。到2035年，老年人口将达到4亿，占比超过30%。到2050年呢，将达到5亿老年人口，占比接近40%。可以说，人口老龄化将成为中国现代化进程中的一个基本的国情。
First, population aging is an important trend in social development and a basic national situation for China in the long term. By the end of 2023, there are nearly 300 million elderly people over the age of 60, accounting for more than 21% of the total population, 400 million by 2035, accounting for more than 30%, and 500 million by 2050, accounting for more than 40%. Population aging will become a fundamental factor affecting China's modernization.
其次，我们第2个认识呢，就是人口老龄化是经济社会发展的，人口老龄化对经济社会发展的影响呢是全面而深刻的，应该辩证的来看待它的影响，既看到人口老龄化带来的巨大的挑战，也要看到蕴藏在其中的新的发展的机遇，特别是要善于发现、抓住这些发展的机遇。这一点，我想对于我们来讲是尤为重要的一点。
The second understanding is that the economic and social impact of population aging is comprehensive and profound, and population aging should be viewed objectively and dialectically. While confronting the challenges posed by aging, we should also recognize the new opportunities for development that aging presents, including stimulating consumption, promoting investment, creating new employment opportunities, and promoting scientific and technological innovation. It's very important to identify, seize, and capitalize on these opportunities.
第3呢，中国始终是积极的看待老龄社会，实施了积极应对人口老龄化的国家战略，制定了中长期规划，明确了到2035和2050年的战略任务，把积极老龄化和健康老龄观融入到经济社会发展的全过程，来推动老龄社会的可持续的发展。
The third understanding is that China has always held a positive view of an aging society and has implemented a national strategy for actively responding to population aging. China has formulated the medium and long-term national plan for aging, clearly defining objectives and specific tasks to be undertaken by 2035 and 2050, and integrating the concepts of active aging and healthy aging into the entire process of economic and social development so as to better realize the sustainable development of our aging society.
中国也积极地看待老年人在未来国家发展中的作用。中国政府呢提倡积极老龄化和老有所为，就在2周前召开的一次高层会议，中国国家总理李强专门强调，老龄人口是宝贵的资源。
The Chinese government promotes active aging and productive aging. Just 2 weeks ago, Premier Li Qiang from the State Council emphasized at a high-level meeting that the aging population is a valuable resource.
首先，规模庞大的老年群体带来对健康、休闲、娱乐、教育等方面的消费需求，形成了巨大的市场潜力，成为推动经济增长的新动力。
The positive roles of older persons at least include the first, the needs of older persons for health, leisure, and education provide new hotspots for consumption and become a new impetus for economic growth.
其次，老年人也是重要的人力资源。中国现在有60到69岁的低龄老年人1.5亿，占到老年人口的56%。他们通过灵活就业的方式，成为劳动力市场的非常有效的补充。
The second role is that the elderly are an important human resource. At present, there are about 150 million young elderly aged 60 to 69 in China, accounting for 56% of the elderly population, and can supplement the labor market through flexible employment.
第三呢，老年人具有丰富的知识和经验，他们通过参加教育活动、咨询、志愿服务等方式，可以广泛地参与到社会活动中来，起到传播知识和传承文化的作用。
The third role is that with their rich knowledge and experience, the elderly can participate in a wide range of social activities through education and counseling, volunteer services, and other means, and can play an important role in disseminating knowledge and passing on culture.
最后呢，老年人啊，特别是低龄健康的老年人，在中国许多还在照顾自己的孙辈和高龄的父母，帮助年轻一代更好地投身职场。他们还积极地参加基层老年人协会，投身社区建设和社会治理，发挥了促进家庭和谐和社会和谐的作用。
The fourth role is that many young elderly can take unpaid care of their own old parents and their grandchildren, so that the younger generation can focus more on their career. Many older persons also actively join grassroots associations of older persons and participate in community mutual assistance and community governance, promoting social and family harmony.
所以我们一直是积极地看待老年人，并且为他们发挥作用呢，在创造条件。谢谢。
So therefore, we should look positively at older persons and enable them to play their role.
Thank you, Ms. Li Xiaoli. I guess there's a lot of takeaway from the policy that have been implemented by the Republic of China. But later on, we will discuss with how we are going to implement maybe in other countries. So the next one, we are moving to Iran, Islamic Republic of Iran. So actually, Iran was the host of the previous regional conference in 2018. And I was there, and I was very impressed by the initiatives of the government of Iran to include all the people in community programs and general policies providing income to older people. So I think there was like a field visit to visit the community-based elderly care. So Ms. Shakiba, Can you briefly describe how these policies and practices have evolved since that time?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. آقای رئیس هیئت جمهوری اسلامی ایران از تلاش‌های انجام شده دولت اندونزی برای برگزاری کنفرانس مهم سالمندی کمال تشکر رو داره و همچنین از ریاست محترم دبیرخانه به خاطر تلاش‌های متحدانش تشکر می‌کنم.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I appreciated the effort made to convey this important meeting. My gratitude is also extended to Government of Indonesia as well as the Secretariat and International HelpAge. Thank you very much.
طی دهه گذشته سیاست‌های تنظیم خانواده و کاهش نرخ باروری در راستای اهداف کنفرانس قاهره بدون در نظر گرفتن تغییرات و شاخص‌های اقتصادی، اجتماعی و فرهنگی بومی کشورها منجر به کاهش شدید نرخ باروری در بسیاری از کشورها شده و متعاقب این کاهش در بسیاری از کشورها امید به زندگی و تغییرات قابل ملاحظه‌ای در ساختار سنی جهان رخ داده، به طوری که این مدت تعداد سالمندان به طور قابل ملاحظه افزایش پیدا کرده و چالش‌های مهمی رو برای اقتصاد، نیروی کار، سیستم‌های بازنشستگی و مکانیزم‌های تأمین مالی و مراقبت‌های بهداشتی بسیاری از کشورها به وجود آورده.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, over the past 5 decades, the family planning policy and reduction of fertility rate, in line with the objective of Cairo Conference, without accounting of economic, social, and cultural barriers and indicators in different national contexts, have led to a sharp decline in the fertility rate across many countries. Consequently, during this period, the number of elderly people has increased significantly, posing significant challenges that will strain economic workforce, pension system, and healthcare financing mechanism of nations. Population survey of United Nations indicate a global aging trend, which is anticipated to accelerate at a survey pace in the years ahead.
اجازه بدید که آمارهایی رو در این خصوص به اشتراک بگذاریم. سرشماری کشور ما نشون میده که افزایش جمعیت سالمند رو به افزایش و ایران در نقطه عطف جمعیتی و آغاز سالمندی قرار داره. کاهش قابل توجه نرخ باروری از 6.5 فرزند به ازای هر زن در دهه 1980 به 1.6 در سال 2023 رسیده. جمعیت سالمند در ایران طی 43 سال از 5% در سال 1976 به 10% در سال 2019 و مجدداً در حدود 21 سال آینده تا سال 2041 به 20% افزایش خواهد داشت.
Allow me to share some statistics on the critical issue. The last national census in my country shows a growing trend of elderly population. As a result, Iran finds itself on the verge of demographic milestone. The once population aging attribute to a remarkable decline in fertility rate from 6.5 children per woman in 1980s to 1.6 in 2023. The elderly population in Iran has increased from 5% to 10% in 2029, doubling within approximately 43 years. By 2041, in just 20 years, the elderly population is anticipated to reach 20% of the population.
در ایران برای حل این مسئله با تغییر سیاست‌های جمعیتی در سال 2020 قانون جوانی جمعیت و حمایت از خانواده به تصویب رسیده و در حال اجراست. اعضای محترم، در ایران برای مدیریت این مسئله و توسعه شهری با محوریت دسترسی پذیری فضاهای شهری ویژه سالمندان و تسهیل در ارائه خدمات برای افراد بالای 60 سال برنامه‌ها و طرح‌های ملی و بین‌المللی زیادی در حال انجام است.
Iran recognized the challenges posed by the aging population, has adopted a policy since 2014 at increasing its fertility rate by offering financial incentives and providing regulatory frameworks. Subsequently, legislation such as the Enact of Law, including a Law on Family and Youth Protection passed in 2020, have been put in place to remove barriers to marriage and childbearing while prioritizing maternal and child health.
از جمله این طرح‌های ملی اجرای شهر سالمند، دوستدار سالمند، تدوین سند ملی سالمندی با 6 هدف، ارتقاء سطح فرهنگ جامعه در مورد سالمندی، توانمندسازی سالمندان، حفظ و ارتقاء سلامت جسمی، تقویت حمایت‌های اجتماعی برای ارتقاء سرمایه اجتماعی، توسعه زیرساخت‌های مد نظر در امور سالمندی، تأمین مالی پایدار برای نظام حمایتی سالمندان، تهیه پیشنویس اسناد دفاع از حقوق سالمندان، طرح توانمندسازی زنان سالمند تنها، افزایش سواد رسانه‌ای، تأسیس بنیادهای فرزانگان و ایجاد بانک زمان هست.
Based on these rules and adopted law, we follow implementation of elderly city plan, compilation of national document of elderly, serving a strategy framework. This document will guide future policies, program, and activities related to elderly affairs in Islamic Republic of Iran in 6 main goals. 1. Improving the cultural level of society regarding aging. 2. Empowering the elderly. 3. Maintaining and improving physical health. 4. Strengthening social support to promote social capital. 5. Develop of desired infrastructure in elderly affairs. And 6. Providing sustainable finance resource for elderly support system. Also, following those policies, preparing a draft for the protection of elderly rights, empowerment plan for single elderly women, elderly literacy, foundation of SEC, and time bank.
Can we round of applause? Thank you, Her Excellency, Ms. Sakiba. I think you already like reframed the aging. So you see the elderly is already become empowered later on. So learning from very different sides. Oh, I forgot Pauki, another country. So before I'm going to UNFPA, Pak Pio, be patient. So we move to Pak Uki. Pak Uki is from Indonesia. And from the National Population and Family Planning Board. So I'm just straight directly to the question, Pak Uki. How does the Family Planning Board integrate population aging, fertility rates, and how the government policy intervention to strengthen relationships between the generational in the family to foster aging population welfare? Some of the key actually already mentioned by Ms. Sakiba. Go ahead, Pak Uki.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Moderator, Honorable Dr. Maliki, the Deputy Chair of Ministry for Planning or Bappenas Indonesia. With your permission, I'm representing the Chairperson of BKKBN, Dr. Hastowardoyo. And also we would like to extend our warm welcome to all delegates from 37 different countries, plus Indonesia to become 38 countries to Bali. Welcome to Bali and enjoy Bali. And also welcome to all international organizations, including UNFPA, and also welcome to Indonesian Line Ministry, and as well as Indonesian non-organization. Thank you very much. Regarding the question regarding our institution, BKKBN stands for National Population and Family Planning Coordinating Board of Republic of Indonesia. In the line of the demographic bonus, stage 1, yeah, in Indonesia we experienced this stage starting from 2012 and expected to finish by 2031. Yeah, the first bonus demography, among others, is caused by the success of family planning program. Currently in Indonesia, we have the TFR, total fertility rate, to reach a 2.1, which a replacement level fertility. As it's mentioned here in the slides, according to Indonesian Population Census 2020, we have here the proportion of a declining percentage of the infant. But leading from the improving health advancement, including also the reducing substantially the stunting rate in Indonesia, then we have in improving quality of life. And this is signed or marked by the improving or increasing life expectancy at birth, in average to reach 74 years old in Indonesia. Now then, we have the increasing proportion of elderly. The question is, we have people live longer, but we would like to have them to live in healthy and happy condition. How then we can do this? In our institution in Indonesia, Pak Maliki, the BKKBN, where the all intervention using the family as the entry point of our program. Of course, BKKBN Indonesia, on behalf of the government, cannot do alone. We need to hand in hand together. We need to work together. BKKBN with Bappenas, for example. As this morning, Pak Maliki already mentioned, to launch the integrated services for elderly, or LLT, for example. And we also have the collaboration with Ministry of Health with regard to Indonesian National Health Coverage, Ministry of Social Affairs, and as well as the Ministry of Home Affairs, and of course university. We have major university here to deal with the improving program on elderly. For example, we have UNRIO, University of Indonesia, University of Gajah Mada, and so many others. And besides university, we have also worked together with the international and national developing partners. Yeah. And of course, with others stakeholders. Among others, we have at least here listed minimum 7, Mr. Moderator, regarding our collaborating innovation to improve our elderly to achieve a certain quality of living. Firstly, we call it Bina Keluarga Lansia. One innovation by using family as the vehicle, yeah, to improve the living standard of our elderly.
Okay, 1 more minute.
Yes, thank you. BKL, the group activity for family with adolescent. Secondly, we have Posyandu Lansia, health integrated post for the elderly. After then, the elderly school, we have also this innovation elderly school, Sekolah Lansia, we will talk later. And then we have also Go Lantang application to check or to update all the information for our elderly at home. As well as Silani for the integrated services for elderly. And we have also conducted comprehensive long-term care for the elderly. And lastly, the health services for elderly with the chronic diseases. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Uki, for the time. So learning from different sizes, Pak Pio, yeah, size backgrounds and also type of the countries. So I think it is essential to see your perspective as the UNFPA. What are the principles of aging strategy regarding people's rights, and what advice would you offer to countries worried about low fertility as a key driver of the aging itself?
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Pa Maliki. And I think as this is perhaps the last time I'm sharing the stage with you, I do want to really give a shout out to Pa Maliki for being a really strong supporter in organizing this conference. He's been doing a lot behind the scenes along with Eduardo. And there's a whole team, of course, as well behind the scenes who are running around very busy. So a round of applause for our organizing team, please. So low fertility or declining fertility rates that we see in certain countries, that and population aging, they're two very distinct issues, I would say. They require different approaches, but of course they also need to be integrated and it has to be comprehensive. For both of them, I would say that they are deeply rooted in the protection of human rights, and that's what we have to keep our focus on. If we look at low fertility or declining fertility, at UNFPA, we advocate extremely clearly and strongly that women should have their own bodily autonomy. That means they get to decide if, when, and how many children to have, and with or how, with whom they decide and however they decide to have those children. That's a fundamental human right that has to be protected and it has to be promoted. Women's bodies being used as part of a tool to respond to the so-called threat of low fertility, that is not the right approach. We have seen pro-natalist policies that attempt to increase birth rates either by using incentives or coercion. They have not only proven to be ineffective, but also they fundamentally undermine women's rights. So instead, I think the focus has to be on closing the gap between the desired and the actual fertility rates. Many women, many couples actually wish to have more children, but they're constrained by lots of different factors, including economic pressures, lack of affordable childcare, rigid social expectations. It's very tough out there for many of our young families. It's tough because they're making decisions about getting on the career ladder or just getting a job even, never mind a career ladder. About when do we buy our first house? Do we send our kid to the public school or do we save up to send them to a paid school because of the education opportunities we want our children to have? So all of these very basic questions come into play whenever we're talking about having, the pressures that particularly young couples are facing. And so addressing those barriers, I think we need to have very supportive set of policies, such as accessible, high-quality childcare, better family benefits, and those policies can help women to realize their own reproductive aspirations. And that doesn't mean compromising their own rights or their own well-being. Now, when it comes, Pa Maliki, to population aging, at UNFPA we very much advocate for a life cycle approach. And that obviously has to consider the needs and the contributions of individuals at every stage of life. We also support the use of national transfer accounts. These are a key tool in our arsenal. I know that you're going to speak about these later during the conference, but essentially those NTAs, the national transfer accounts, they're going to help us to understand better the economic implications of aging populations. They're going to get us better, more integrated design of the policies that will ensure that we have sustainable economic growth, like we heard from our minister. The silver economy, there's a lot of talk about the silver economy. That is really important because it also involves recognizing the potential of older adults. The potential of those older adults as active participants in the economy, not as dependents. And so I think when we leverage the skills, the experience, the purchasing power of older generations, then we get to create, inclusive economies that benefit all age groups. So leveraging that silver economy by recognizing, by actively promoting the economic and the social contributions of older adults is really important. And we have to encourage policies that support active and healthy aging, that harness the potential of the silver economy, that it can boost GDP, promote innovation, but also very important to support intergenerational solidarity through community and through economic engagement. That's very important when we look at things like the informal care economy. Very often it's the face of a woman who is holding up that informal care economy. And she, who is already discriminated against and already has, to get a head start on things in life, she's bearing an undue burden. So these are some of the issues that we need to look at. I think, it's by collaborating with governments, with our partners across the region, that we can help to advance these efforts so that we get all individuals, particularly women, but all individuals, regardless of their age, regardless of their fertility choices, so that they all get to live a life that has dignity, that has opportunity. And when we're doing so, I think it's really important that we stay razor-sharp focused on the most vulnerable in our societies and in our communities. And very often, that's a disabled woman or a disabled girl. We need to be paying attention to that community to make sure that they don't get pushed behind, not just left behind.
Thank you, Pak Pio. I guess there's a few also consistent principles that you mentioned is already also implemented by some countries here. The last one for the sessions, we are going to Mr. Cherian as HelpAge. So you are now, in fact, the key persons to define and translate reframing aging that becomes out of our terms of our conference. So the question for you is that how has HelpAge and civil society reframed the discourse on aging in recent years?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the question. And as I alluded to in my opening remarks, HelpAge internationally is celebrating 40 years of his life and experience with older people. And the reframing of aging or changing the narrative comes from our work with civil societies and civil societies work with older people themselves. So we listen to the older people, and from their own perspective, we really see that what kind of a narrative will really help us to move forward in terms of strategy. So I just want to briefly talk about the 5 domains of shift that we experienced from the very beginning of HelpAge's formation till now. The first and the foremost is that when HelpAge started with CSOs, there was a recipient of assistance. That was kind of a narrative, So older people have some issues, some problems. Let's fix it. Let's support them. From that, we have moved to the agency for change or agents for change. The aspect of their own dignity, the aspect of their own rights, the aspect of there's a need not to look at the aging from an individual perspective. We need to look at it as a community, as a society. So from recipient of support to the agents of change. That was the first domain. The second domain, we need to look at aging process from a multi-dimensional perspective. For instance, the aging is a process, and it stems from some of our life experience from the childhood to the old age. For instance, the aging experience of an older adult in the rural Cambodia will be different from the aging experience in Phnom Penh, the capital city of Cambodia, because of the lack of education, lack of access to health. All of this matters as we age. So it is important to really look at not just as a fixed box, but also seeing that the aging is a process and there is a diversity among the older people. So that was the second domain. The third domain, which is an important domain, is to really look at the whole approach to the aging process from a right-based way. You know, the right-based approach is so fundamental to really look at and address the challenges of older people. For instance, if you are in a right-based narrative, we need to really make sure that older people are not an economic burden. Since older people are not contributing to the economy, there's no investment is required. That's not the way the narrative goes. If it is a right-based narrative, they have the every right to live with dignity, like you and me. So important to understand that our framing should be right-based and rooted in the human rights perspective. Then the third dimension, which we talk about, is the life course approach. Again, aging is a process. So as some of the speakers have mentioned, when we look at the older people's issues and challenges, we can't just look at the older people and try to resolve.
Mr. Cherian, can you wrap up in 1 minute?
So it is important to really look at from the young and the older people and really looking at from an intergenerational perspective. Lastly, but most importantly, really looking at aging process with the intersectionality with climate change, migration, and other mega trends. It's important to understand that in that context, if you are an older person, it exacerbates the existing inequalities. We need to address that.
Thank you. So we only have like 10 more minutes because of the time constraints. And if we go longer, then we will have like a very shorter lunch time. So I guess 10 minutes I will use for just short questions, just only for the women, not for the men. So starting from Ms. Shakiba, the question is the same. Yeah. What is actually the most challenges that you have to reframe aging in your country so then the elderly can be seen as a productive and also an asset for the nations?
Okay. آقای رئیس و همکاران محترم، مایلم توجه شما را به موضوع نگران کننده‌ای در خصوص اعمال تحریم‌های اجباری یکجانبه جلب کنم. این اقدامات غیرقانونی نه تنها بر سلامت و رفاه سالمندان در کشور من تأثیر منفی داشته است، بلکه دسترسی به داروها و تجهیزات بهداشتی ضروری در ایران را نیز به طور قابل توجهی محدود کرده است. ما از جامعه بین المللی می خواهیم که تمام تلاش‌های ممکن را برای محدود کردن این اقدامات غیرقانونی به کار ببندد و عاملان آن را وادار کند که این اقدامات را متوقف کنند.
Mr. Chairman, dear colleagues, I wish to draw your attention to a matter of grave concern pertaining of the imposition unilateral coercive measures, UCM. These unlawful measures have not only adversely impacted the health and well-being of elderly population in my country, but have also significantly constrained access to essential medication and healthcare equipment in Iran. We urge the international community to exert every possible effort in condemning this illegal measure and to compel the prepare to case such unlawful action immediately.
آقای رئیس، در خاتمه مجدداً تاکید می‌کنم که سالمندی موفق نشان دهنده یک مدل آرمانی است که در آن افراد می‌توانند زندگی طولانی داشته باشند که مشخصه آن رهایی از بیماری و ناتوانی است. این مدل شامل فعال ماندن از نظر جسمی و روحی و همچنین بهره‌مندی از مزایای مشارکت اجتماعی است که سالخوردگان بیشتری قادر باشند تا به استقلال، امنیت مالی، وضعیت بهتر بهداشتی و درمانی و حس تعلق دست بیابند. جهت فراهم کردن زمینه‌های تقویت سالمندی فعال و مولد، دولت‌ها باید به همراه تقویت زیربناها برای رشد و توسعه اقتصادی و توسعه همکاری‌های بین‌المللی به تقویت و توسعه آموزش‌های مداوم و مدیریت و نظارت بر سبک زندگی سالم در دوران جوانی و میانسالی و در نهایت توسعه سیستم‌های بیمه همگانی درمان و بیمه اجتماعی بپردازند.
Mr. Chairman, in conclusion, I reassert the successful aging represent an aspiration model within individual can lead longer lives characterized by freedom for disease and disability. In order to provide a strong foundation to promoting active and productive aging and enhancing the well-being of elderly, governments are encouraged to extend existing policy aimed at increasing fertility rate. Additionally, it is crucial to reinforce economic infrastructure to support growth and development, foster international cooperation, promote lifelong education, enhance human capital, oversee the protection of healthy lifestyle among the young and middle-aged population, and develop national health insurance and social insurance system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Shakiba and Ms. Taheran. The next one is Dr. Aisas. Go ahead. Do you have the mic? Go ahead, Ms. So what is the most challenge for you to reframe aging in Maldives?
Thank you. Let me identify 5 areas of priority, and I'll detail out some of the issues that can be addressed within that priorities. The first one is an integral approach on development, prevention, protection, and lifelong learning. And within that, adopting an integrated approach that treats the aging population as a resource, ensuring support at every phase of life. By adopting a holistic strategy in development, prevention, protection, and lifelong learning will enable older persons to lead dignified, productive, and fulfilling lives while easing the burden on the social protection systems. The second priority is ensuring optimal health and well-being. And within that, promoting healthy aging by introducing programs including balanced diet, exercises, and regular health checkups to prevent NCDs such as diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease, reducing healthcare costs and enhancing the quality of life. Second is the provision of mental health support to address mental health challenges like depression and cognitive decline through early interventions, including mental health screening and counseling services to ensure both prevention and treatment are available for older persons. The third is the building long-term care infrastructure by investing in both formal nursing homes, assisted living, and informal care, home-based care, while supporting families and caregivers with training and resources to meet the growing need of long-term care. The third priority is creating and enabling a supporting environment. By creating age-friendly environment, by improving housing designs and accessibility to public spaces to meet mobility needs, ensure safety, and promote active aging, well-being, and independence of older persons. Implementing legal frameworks and age-friendly policies to protect older persons from physical, emotional, and financial abuse, ensuring accessible reporting mechanisms, and uphold their rights to public services like healthcare, transportation, and information that is free from discrimination and barriers. The fourth priority is the social protection and inclusivity, and in that establishing a robust social protection system with sustainable pension schemes, social assistance programs, and universal healthcare financing mechanisms to protect older persons from poverty and financial distress, especially as life expectancy increases. Promoting digital inclusion by providing lifelong learning programs to teach digital skills, enabling seniors to use smartphones, the internet, and other platforms to stay socially connected and access essential services. Promoting intergenerational learning.
Ms. Saidam, can you wrap up?
Half a minute. Promoting intergenerational learning by encouraging volunteerism, intergenerational programs, and community engagement, providing older persons with opportunities to mentor young generations and fostering knowledge exchange and social cohesion. And the fifth point is pension systems and about pension systems and financial sustainability with reforming our current pension systems, developing policies and programs that encourage individuals to save for retirement and support pension schemes that can ease the burden on public finances, and finally, promoting workforce participation by encouraging older persons to remain in the workforce through flexible work arrangements and lifelong learning, helping to mitigate labor shortages and reduce pressure on social protection systems. Thank you.
Thank you. The last one, Ms. Li Shaoli, you have 3 minutes, including the translation.
赞成刚才的分享的观点。从中国的经验出发，我补充一点，我认为呢，对于政府应对人口老龄化来说，有一点非常重要，就是要有积极应对人口老龄化的国家战略。只有在国家层面有战略规划，才能保证我们应对人口老龄化一系列行动措施的目标的稳定性和行动的一致性。就这样。
I agree with the views shared. Thank you for sharing. I think the most important thing that is that we should have a national strategy to address population aging issue. So a national strategy should be formulated to ensure the stability of action and consistency of objectives and measures through strategic planning. That's all.
Thank you. So I think the time is up. So let me just mention a few takeaways that already mentioned by all the speakers. And amazingly, I guess we all agree that reframing aging is supposed to be based on the rights of all the person itself. Yeah. So they have the freedom to choose how they will be aged. And this one is also, I think most of the countries also is like develop the aging policies based on the community approach. Yeah. And the most important part for the reframing aging is how we can develop innovations from the elderly. How we can like open up the new investment, the new economic opportunity from the elderly itself. So China and also Islamic Republic of Iran also mentions about how the elderly can have long life learning. Yeah. So then they are more productive. And the last one, the most important part mentioned by Ms. Li Shaoli, is that we need to have the national strategy. So I think if you mention that, I think Indonesia already have one, so we have 100 score for that. Yeah. But the challenge is how we can implement the national strategy, especially at the community level. I think this one will be discussed within like these 3 days. Hopefully by the end of the conference, we will find the answers for that and we can implement more effectively of the national strategy. Thank you again for all the speakers, distinguished speakers, and round of applause again for them. Thank you. And now I guess I just have to give it back to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Once again, give the biggest round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for all the speakers and also to our moderator, Mr. Maliki. Thank you very much. We will have a photo session together. Official camera, please be ready. We would like to invite all the speakers to please kindly take position in front of the table, and I would like to invite the photographers to please be ready. Dipersilakan untuk dapat mengambil foto. I will have to count in the count of 1, 2, 3. Official camera, once again. Okay, move. Do you want to change your position, or do you want to change the pose or something else? Yes, of course, you can do the freestyle. In the count of 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Give the biggest round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much to all the speakers for a very insightful session. Thank you very much. And from the discussion that we can conclude that reframing aging involves the shifting the perspective from viewing aging as a decline to seeing it as a stage of growth and opportunity. This new mindset encourages us to focus on the potential for continued learning, personal development, and contribution to society as we age. And by embracing the positive aspect of aging, such as wisdom, experiences, and resilience, we can combat age-related stereotype and create a culture that values the elderly. And this shift not only enhances the quality of life for older individuals, but also promote healthier, more active, and fulfilled aging across society. So once again, thank you very much, all the speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, before we are going to have the lunch, I have a very special announcement for all of you, and this is very important. The first one is you are invited to register for the field visit. So please note that this is on a first come, first served basis with limited seats. So for that, if you would like to join the field visit, please kindly scan the barcode and register right now. So we are now distributing the barcode on your table at the moment. So please kindly take a look, have a look at the barcode if you want to do the field visit. And the second one, you are invited to have lunch at Tanjung Benoa Hall, located at the first floor. So you can go through the Tanjung Benoa by the escalator on the right side of the ballroom, and by taking the elevator to the first floor. Of course, you can choose. And to all the VIPs, you are invited to have lunch at Mengui 1, located in the ground floor, on the same floor as the ballroom as well. And it is located in the right side of the ballroom. And the prayer room is located on the floor below this one, and you can find the direction outside. And also we have the announcement for the side event. We have the volunteer-based home visits for older people in Indonesia and beyond. Opportunities and challenges. It will be start at 1:15 p.m. in Mengui room, Mengui 6 and 8. And also we have some information for the international participant. Please go to the registration desk to collect your dinner card invitation, because you are going to need it, and there will be a local government forum and also the dinner. And the next one will be for the afternoon parallel sessions. Please go directly to the sessions you wish to attend by 2:15 p.m. For the details on the parallel session, please refer to the agenda brochure, and we kindly request all of you to check your personal belongings before leaving the event locations. Please ensure that you do not leave behind any important items such as wallets, cell phones, keys, and other personal belongings. And once again, for the afternoon session, please kindly go directly to the stations that you want to attend at 2 p.m. to 15 p.m. It will be start, so you don't need to come back to this hall. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and enjoy your lunch, and have a great stay in Bali. Thank you, and I'll see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi 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 Om. Terima kasih dan sampai jumpa. Thank you.